Look, you will never improve at chess unless you improve your calculation skills. And the best way to calculate deeper than ever is to practice solving puzzles. Today, for you, I have an insane chess puzzle that will test both your patience and your calculation skills. You are playing with the white pieces. You have a bishop, you have a knight, and you have a queen. But there's a problem. Your opponent on the next move is gonna play a check, and you're gonna move your king, and you will lose the queen. This is problem number one. Problem number two, your opponent can play pawn to g2, attacking your queen and threatening to promote to a queen, and you will be definitely losing this game. So you have to make forcing moves. And this is white to move, and actually it is what I'm not going to tell you the result of this is going to be a draw or it's going to be a win. I want to leave it to you so it will test your calculation skills till the end. Okay, you have the queen here. You know about this attack. You know about this push. What are you going to do? The king cannot go there because of the knight. Are you going to give a check? Are you going to move the queen? Are you going to do what? Please take your time, pause the video if you would like, try to think as much as you can, and really calculate all of the possible lines, and actually just if you want to memorize them, just put them in the comments. So whenever you think about a variation, for example a check, and he's going to push and you're going to give another check, whatever you want to do, just put it in the comments so that so that I can see that you've calculated more than one variation. Okay, now hopefully you stopped the video and now you're here. I'm not gonna give you the solution right away. I'm just gonna tell you more options going to be played here. So if you're gonna play with the white pieces, maybe the first thing you thought about is to play queen to f1 check. And actually, I don't blame you. It's a really natural go there, so it almost looks like checkmate. But of course, your opponent has a g2 attacking the queen, and the queen else is gonna make a queen. He's gonna give you a check. He's gonna a lot of things are going to be messed up. So maybe you think about, okay, queen d3, another check. The king still cannot go there. It looks like kind of checkmate, but actually black has a really, annoying move, blocking the check, and move the king is going to make a queen. He has this check maybe. He makes a queen. This game because the knight and the bishop are really participating in the game. So uh, if you thought about queen to f1 check, it does not work because after a couple of moves, it will be a check against you. Now, let's go back a little bit. Now, what would you play here in case you didn't play queen to f1? Maybe you thought about something that is really nuts. Maybe some kind of a queen g2, for example. You're like, oh, I'm gonna be a Hikaru or something. The king cannot go there because of the knight, so he takes. You can give a check. The king can go there, but it's not winning ball for white. He can block with the rook if he wants. He can move there. No way to win this for white. So sacrificing the queen does not work. You might think about, okay, sacrificing the queen here. It surely does not work because the king can take and the pawn will promote. So you might be thinking about, okay, maybe I have to reroute the queen in some way to give some kind of check. Maybe I have to go somewhere. So maybe you move the queen to d5 or something like that. But this does not work because you don't have much time. Black will push the pawn, will make a queen, and you will be losing this game. So it's not fast enough. You don't have any checks. The knight here can be captured in both ways. The pawn cannot be stopped from promoting because the bishop is defending and the king is right now defending. So it will not be winning for white if you want to move the queen. So hopefully you understood in this puzzle, you actually don't care about the queen. So maybe you are a genius and maybe you saw this move and you're like, okay, I'm not gonna move my queen because I know that this check does not do anything, this sacrifice doesn't do anything, this sacrifice doesn't do anything. The queen getting out will simply not, it just delays the inevitable, and you saw that you have to move another piece. So maybe you definitely saw that the knight should not move from there because the knight is really doing a really good job stopping the king from going there, and the queen is stopping the king from going there. So the king is really trapped, and you only need a kind of a check, which will lead to checkmate, but you don't have any of these two. So if the queen is really useless to move, and the knight should stay there because it stops the black from running away, then definitely the only piece that you can move is the bishop. Right. Now, because you might be afraid of this, actually it is winning for white if you found the right bishop move. See, we have bishop to f7, bishop to d7, and bishop to c6. Of course, you would look at this and you're like, this is a retarded move, and you're completely right. Bishop f7 is just stupid. What are you looking at? You might be thinking, okay, what about bishop here, trying to take here, trying to pin, something like that. But no, the best move in this position, it is nuts. It is to play bishop to c6, brilliant move, and you're actually sacrificing the queen, because whenever he will give you this check, on b1, you have to move the king. You cannot go there. You have to go here or here. Now, this is another task for you. I wanted to pause the video again, and I want you to really think deeply on which move you're going to play, either king to e2 or king to d2. This makes a lot of difference in this puzzle, and one of them will be winning, one of them will be losing. So pause the video, think about it, because after king here or king here, he will happily take the queen. And you might maybe take back, you might give some checks, nobody knows. So in which square you think the king belongs to? King e2 or king d2? Okay, hopefully you pause the video and you try to find the best move. Actually, the best square, which I'm going to explain why it is the best square in the end, it is king to e2. King to e2, you might be saying, what? Okay, so we're sacrificing the queen. It is a bold move. Okay, he took our queen. Now you might be saying, okay, we go and take that rook back, and we try to deliver some kind of a checkmate in some kind of way. Maybe we have some kind of perpetual. No, you're completely losing this game if you played bishop takes rook. You're losing the game. Why? Because you have this. I don't think it's losing after g2, because after bishop takes, black will take it, you will have a check, the king will move, and you will take here, and whenever he pushes the pawn, just sacrifice the knight for it, and it will be a draw. So it is not winning for you. You managed to get a draw. Now, this is better than losing the game, which is amazing. That's great progress in your calculation. But it is not the right move. You're not supposed to take the rook. I know, it's crazy. You're not supposed to take the rook. Now you might be thinking, okay, so the bishop is stopping the king from going there. The knight is stopping the king from going there. So maybe you give a check. Well, no. This is not checkmate because you removed the knight that is stopping the king from going there, and he will move here. Maybe you can think about now bishop takes rook, but again, it's not winning because, it's not winning. It might end up in a draw because you have 3 pawns you have to deal with, and you have to sacrifice a piece for them. And whenever this pawn is pushed, the bishop is really strong. So yeah, it's not that. It's not this check. The best move in this position after rook takes queen is to play crazy looking move, which is, I hope that you found this move. I really do. And you really have strong instincts and really strong calculation skills if you found bishop to g2 check. Oh my god. When I solved this, it took me a really long time to solve this, but I really took my time. It took me like maybe 20 minutes to solve this on my own. I'm not looking at anything. I'm just really, really deeply calculating about this position. And I really managed to find it, and it was beautiful when I found it. Now, the king cannot go there because of the knight, and he's forced to take the bishop. After this, see the square? You can give a check to the king and also control the h3 square by playing knight to f4 check. The king cannot go there, there, there. He needs to go to the only square, which is king to g1. Now, remember when I told you either king e2 or king d2? Well, if you played king d2, that's why you will not be winning this game. King e2 was the right move, or I guess they are the same thing. Yeah, I guess they are the same thing. Sorry about that. It's king e1. because you want to play king e1 no matter what. Even if you play king d2 or king e2, you're going to go back king e1 a little bit. I don't know. I just got a little bit excited. Sorry about that. If you played king d2 or king e2, you're totally fine. You're a genius. Okay. But the best move was to actually see bishop to g2 check. Now, you might say, what is this dumb ass looking move? You want to give some kind of check, but he can just take, right? You move the king because you're actually putting your opponent in a really, really bad position. First of all, you have this rook cannot move. The bishop cannot move. The king cannot move anywhere. This pawn cannot move. This pawn cannot move. And the only legal move for your opponent is to play g2. And now you clearly see the move, which is knight to e2, checkmate. This puzzle is insane. Insane. I really hope that you managed to solve it. It is really beautiful puzzle. Tell me how much time it took you to see the solution, or to see the first step of the solution, which is to sack the queen by playing bishop to c6. And that's it. Thank you for watching the video.